Hello gorgeous, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you're new. If you're new, it means so much if you click that subscribe button to join my YouTube family. I do post on my channel every single Tuesday and Thursday, but today is going to be another period video. I haven't done one of these in forever, and I wanted to share with you my top period hacks that every girl needs to know and that will make your life so much easier during that time of the month, and also just kind of help with that time of the month, because let's be honest, we all just can't wait till it's over. But I'm always looking for little hacks and tips and tricks to make that time go by faster and just easier and smoother. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up if you like it. I will link down below as well as my period playlist if you guys want to check out a ton more content regarding periods and all of the girl tips and tricks. And with that being said, let's just jump right into the period hacks. My first hack has to do with menstrual tools. So it is not only important to make sure that you are stocked up and that you have menstrual tools on hand, of course, during that time of the month, but it's important to have different menstrual tools with different absorbency levels. So you can do this with both your pads or tampons, whichever ones you prefer. But before, when I first got my period, I always just used the same tool and the same pad or same tampon for the entirety of my period. And your period is changing throughout the week. It's a lot, your flow is a lot more heavier at the beginning of the week compared to the end. So it's important to have different absorbency levels to kind of match up with that. Especially when it comes to tampons, you don't want to use a high absorbency level that you would at the beginning compared to the end, because it is a lot more difficult to use, and you want to get something that has a lower level of absorbency so that it is slimmer, because you aren't going to have as heavy of a flow. When you buy your period tools, whether that's tampons or pads, you will see on the actual box, and it tells you what absorbency level it is. It will tell you whether it is for a heavier flow or a lighter flow, if it's for overnight. So it's important to keep an eye out for that and just have different options and change it with the way that your period is going throughout the week. So the heavier it is, the higher absorbency level, and the less your flow becomes, the lower absorbency level. And this is just essential when it comes to my overall period routine. Speaking of pads, hack number 2 has to do with pad placement. So I feel like most of us typically just put our pads on vertically, and whether we have the wings on the pads or not, we put it over our underwear. But a hack I have for you is put your first pad vertical and put your second pad where your booty area is horizontal. So we're always moving around, and especially when we're active on the go, or maybe even when we're sleeping, that is when we tend to unfortunately get leaks sometimes. And to avoid that, by putting your pad horizontal where your bum area is going to help you avoid those leaks, especially if you are having a heavier flow day and just things can get really messy. But I feel like a lot of us don't really think to put our pad horizontal, but it is extremely useful. And this is extremely useful as well when you are sleeping, because when you are sleeping, you're moving all around and your pad can move on your underwear. So to avoid your pad moving and to avoid getting any leaks on your underwear or even on your bed sheets, by placing it horizontal, it is going to do absolute wonders. Hack number 3 is still sticking onto the pads. A thing that I used to be really self-conscious of, especially when I was in school or just out and about, I never wanted people to know that I was going into the washroom and using menstrual tools and just having my period. So to avoid that loud noise that you get when you're opening your pads and you're changing your pads on your underwear, is to cut the sides of your pads prior to putting them into your purse or your backpack or whatever bag you have on you. By just cutting the sides of your pad, it still secures your pad so that it is closed and that it doesn't get dirty or anything like that, but it's going to be a lot less noisy. So when you are at school or you're in a public place and you just get a little bit self-conscious when it comes to that, even though of course, you know, we're all girls and we all go through it, but I know in different stages in your life, you're a little bit more self-conscious than other times. I know for me, I was really self-conscious during being when I was a teenager. So this hack really was a lifesaver for me, and it really just made me feel a lot more comfortable when I was in public. I just didn't really want people to know, and I just didn't want to make all this noise so people really know what's going on behind the closed door in the washroom. Hack number 4 are period panties. This is a new thing that has been invented and has become a lifesaver, because I know when I was growing up, I never really heard of a period panty, but these are a great thing to invest in and buy and have with you in your period routine. I will link some down below for you guys to pick up, but period panties are amazing because they can absorb up to 2 tampons of menstrual blood. This is really great for those heavier times, or you're scared you're going to leak. They feel like regular panties, but they absorb your period, and you could just wash them and you're good to go. This has become such a lifesaver. It's great to wear when you're going to sleep, or if you have a heavier day, or you just have a very active day. Wearing period panties are honestly a lifesaver. These are also really great to travel with, and it's just great to have in your period routine. I wish I had this growing up because this would have helped me so much, but for you, if you haven't heard of period panties, check them out and pick some up. You definitely will thank me later. Hack number 5 has to do with our chest. So near that time of the month, our chest definitely gets a lot more tender and a lot more sore. So my tip to help with this is to wear sports bras, bralettes, or wireless bras. This is just going to take and remove the pressure from your chest, and it's gonna be a lot more comfortable and help with your sore, tender chest. So you don't wanna have something that is super wired or tight or uncomfortable. You wanna make sure that you are putting as little as pressure on it as you can. So by not having something constricted and so tight on you is really going to take that pressure off and really help with the tenderness. Hack number 6 is incorporate salicylic acid into your skin care routine, especially during this time of the month. If you're anything like me, I get hormonal breakouts, and during that time is when I always tend to get a pesky pimple. And the thing that works for me the best, especially near this time, is salicylic acid. This is a ingredient that really helps with pimples and targets your pimples, and if you struggle with acne. And I'm gonna share with you my favorite salicylic acid products that really do wonders for my skin and help to remove my pesky pimple as fast as possible and really reduce the size and the swelling. So it's important also that you are really taking care of your skin before your period even comes. You don't wanna just do it when the pimple is here. So sometimes I will do a salicylic mask even a week prior to my period coming. But the 2 products I absolutely love is the Inky List Salicylic Cleanser. This is super gentle. It is non-stripping and great for sensitive skin, acne-prone skin. It does not dry out my skin, and I always use this in the morning and the night. It is my skincare staple. It is super affordable, and it is my favorite, honestly, face wash, especially if you just have sensitive skin and struggle with acne. And to be completely honest, I have replaced this bottle many, many times now. I absolutely love the formula. I love how it helps my skin, and I've just seen such amazing results with using this cleanser, and I've never looked back. And my other favorite salicylic acid product is the Ordinary Salicylic Acid Mask. This is amazing for spot treatment. I like to do this once to twice a week, and I apply it onto my pimples, and I just apply the mask all over, and it really helps to reduce my pimples, get rid of it as fast as possible. This product is also not stripping, or it's also not harsh on my skin at all, and I like to use this mask honestly even the week following up, and then I will use it when I am on my period as well. So if you struggle with hormonal breakouts and you get pimples during that time of the month, which I feel like is so common, and I am definitely one that deals with that, check out these products. I will link them down below, but they have been my lifesavers whenever I have a pesky pimple. Now that we're speaking about pimples and that time of the month, another product I really like that is not necessarily salicylic acid, but also really great to pick up and add into your skincare routine, are pimple patches. So these are like little clear stickers that you can put on top of a pimple, and especially if you have a whitehead, it really just gets rid of it. You could sleep with it overnight or wear it throughout the day, and this really helps reduce my pimples so quickly. I will also link that down below for you guys in the description box, but these have been such a lifesaver at helping to reduce my pimples whenever I'm on a pinch or I just get some pesky pimple during that time of the month. It's really great. I also used to wear these underneath face masks when we had to walk around face masks because my face masks were really breaking me out, so I would pop on a sticker underneath the face mask so it doesn't really irritate my skin and touch it. So that's also a really great tip if you're also still wearing face masks sometimes here and there. Definitely try wearing a pimple patch underneath. And my last hack has to do with diet and eating the right stuff according to your period. There is a lot of science behind which foods can combat your period symptoms, and it's important to have a well-balanced diet. I've been noticing that whenever I'm on track and I'm eating really well before even my period comes, during my period, and after, I get a lot less of period symptoms and a lot less cramps as well, because I definitely struggle with period cramps and severe period cramps, and I've noticed that is what really helps with my cramps, my PMS, and just so many different other symptoms that we get with our period. Before your period even comes, I really like to make sure that I'm keeping up with my water intake and make sure that I'm having things full of iron and as well as high protein meals. When you are on your period, your iron levels are really low, so you want to eat foods that are going to help with that, and that includes things like leafy greens and having fiber-rich foods including oats, pumpkin seeds, whole grains, carrots. This is really going to help with fatigue during that time. Even just incorporating anti-inflammatory foods into my diet like veggies and nuts really help. And things that I like to really just try to avoid during that time of the month are things like sugary foods and salty foods. This is just going to make your period symptoms a lot worse, or even having things like coffee and just incorporating caffeine. This can make your cramping a lot worse. So just switching to having a more well-balanced diet and having water and drinking a lot of water before your period come, I find helps a lot when it comes to cramping. You gotta think that a lot of the times sugary and salty foods and having things like caffeine really dehydrate your body and makes your period symptoms a lot more worse. I do like to incorporate things, however, like dark chocolate. This really helps because of course you do get those cravings, and dark chocolate really helps with that, and it helps with PMS. So it's important that you're still keeping up with your diet, you're still having your carbs, you're still eating high protein foods, and you're keeping up with your water drinking. But I feel like a lot of us don't really realize how much our diet and what we eat really can help with the way our period is going to be that month. And whenever I find that I'm off track of my diet, or I'm just eating a lot of more sugary, salty foods, or I'm not drinking enough water, is when I find my cramps are the worst and my period symptoms are also the worst, as including things like my PMS. So you really want to make sure that you're taking care of your inside as well to give you the smoothest period that month and to make that time go by a lot easier. So those are my top hacks that every girl needs to know. Thumbs up if you guys liked it. Comment down below any period tips you have. I'm always looking for more to make that time always easier and better, because it is just the week that I want to go by the quickest. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was useful. I will link anything I did mention down below. Like I said, you guys can also check out any of my other period related content. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. I do post on my channel every single Tuesday and Thursday. And with that being said, I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!